can't seem to get enough of stand-up comedians. How does this genre work though? And will the boom times last? To get to know all these answers, I'm going to first invite our moderator, Mr. Anil Baron Chaudhary, Principal Correspondent, APAX. Let's welcome him. Our first panelist who's joining us is Mr. Karan Talwar, who's a comedian. Let's welcome him, please. Next on the panel, we have somebody who we absolutely love. We've all seen her. She's right here today. Miss Malika Dua, Instagrammer and comedian. And we have joining them Mr. Vijay Subramaniam, who's the co-founder for Quan. I'm going to now hand over the session to our moderator.
Thanks. You know, there are few sessions where you don't need to worry about your audience. You know, when you have all of these people, there will be a lot of chairs filled. So that part is taken care of. So by the way, he is Bollywood Kanku, he is Karan Talwar, he is Akshay Kumar. He doesn't like he doesn't like Bollywood content. So
that's not true. I don't like, it's not like all Bollywood content. Some of it.
So when you don't like some of Bollywood content, you make a Bollywood content.
Yes, I exactly that. It was the attitude. You know, I met a lot of people behind the scenes. There's a lot of attitude. You know, we know Bollywood is a lot of ego problems. So I decided to take this ego problem and make it into a character. And that's where it came from.
Okay. So Malika was there with us last year, and last year we talked about how do you get popular. Today you are very popular. Now I'd like to ask you and start with you. After you have attained the popularity you have, what's next for you?
So I've been telling a lot of people this, that there's an expectation from comedians to just be funny all the time, you know, whether they're on stage or on screen or off screen or whatever. But the fact is that because we're creators, every single creative urge that we have need to be that of creating comedy. So the phase that I'm in right now is, I don't want to do comedy for a bit. Maybe I want to do something else, you know. Maybe it mirrors my state of mind these days. So right now I'm focusing more on thinking about other things which are not limited to comedy or not limited to comedy of caricatures, which is what I've done so far.
Okay. Now Vijay, you are the co-founder of Quan in India, and you deal with a lot of talents. You manage their career. So tell me the identification process. How do you decide which talent to sign a deal with or sign a contract with?
There's no science behind it. I think just keeping it in relevance to what we're discussing in terms of working with digital stars like Malika, Karan, etc. I think for us it was very, very clear that having represented a lot of the green talent in Bollywood over a period of time, there is a paradigm shift happening in terms of the way entertainment is being consumed, in terms of the way brands are looking at content per se, with the boom of telecommunication, OTT, all of that. We realized very soon that a digital star is not something that's about to happen. A digital star is already born, and it's very much a reality of the present, and it's not something that's going to be forthcoming. So what we decided to do was look inwards, and while Bollywood is there as the mothership of the entire agency universe, we realized that this is an economy that's not growing in percentages, it's growing in multiples, right? And so when we looked inwards and decided what can we do, and just the ethos of the agency has always been to work with talent which is either emerging or that's about to pop. And at that point in time, we were very lucky to sort of meet with guys like Karan and Malika, etc., and sort of start working with them on their journey in terms of creation. Also, what we realized was all of a sudden, our main business, which was the endorsement business, which was sort of flatlining or sort of decreasing in terms of its percentage growth, simply because it was added on or paired up by the business of the digital influencer world, right? And I think this is going to stay, this is going to increase. It's no longer something that's about to pop, it's very much popped, and we'll be foolish to be in the entertainment business and not be here, and that's exactly why we're here.
Okay. Karan, when did you realize that you have arrived on the space that you operate as a digital influencer, or when did you get to know that, okay, no, this, I now have a fan base and I need to responsibly take care of them?
Honestly, like I never actually thought about things like that. I always came from a point of view that I have something to say, and I think the reason why people like me and Malika exist today is because we come from a place of honesty. And I think that we have to say that by and large, the content that we create in this country is not honest. It doesn't give a true, like for example, you look at Bollywood and romance. Nobody has relationships like that. You've never had a boyfriend girlfriend like that, like how Bollywood portrays it. It just does not exist because it's dirty and hard and difficult and funny. But so the characters Malika does, when she talks about like the problems this character has, it's so real, relatable. I'm a guy, but I still get it. And so when mainstream content has just forgotten about being honest, suddenly the onus is on us. I never thought about that, oh, I've arrived, oh, this is amazing. It's nice that people see the content that we create. It's nice to walk into our office and see like people are going through the tweets or the videos that we create and laughing. That's the fun stuff. But I never even thought about like, oh, I've arrived or anything like that. It's never occurred to me.
Okay, the Sarojini Nagar video was a fun stuff, and it certainly got people to know about you. But when did you think that, oh no, this can be a business also for me? What was the process? Now today it's your career, it's not just fun.
So, when I had done the Sarojini video, I was still working in advertising.
Correct.
And then the video I did after that with TVF, I was still working in Delhi. They asked me to join them at that point as an employee, and something about it was, I loved the offer, but I was like, something told me don't, something better awaits, I don't know why. And then I met with people who sort of gave me the faith that I didn't know that comedy was a business. So I met Tanmay, who then connected me to his management, who then went on to manage me, and then I realized, oh, there's money here, like there's people willing to put money. So once that sort of happened, and I literally moved to Bombay in a month, very skeptical, rent kaun dega, kaise hoga, how will things happen, but things just worked out, and that's when I realized how it works, and that influencers are eating into a very significant chunk of like traditional advertising, because I came from that television commercial world and I saw what is happening outside of it, and it's no longer digital versus mainline. That notion that exists in agencies, it doesn't work anymore because they're both linked together.
Okay, Vijay, we're talking about the business of laughter. They do make us laugh, and it's a fact. And whoever watches your video, you have to laugh, and that whatever they do, and it's some quality. So how do you make money for them? Is it more through live shows or gate revenues that you sell, or is it the brands that come in associate with their content, and that is where the revenue comes from? Where is the money coming in from?
Do we make money for you guys?
Yeah.
So we do. Yes, I think a fair chunk, and I think over the last couple of days you guys would have heard enough and more stats about how influencer marketing is the next big thing. Picking up on what Karan said, the reason why brands sort of rally around people like Karan or Malika is because there's a voice of authenticity. Today when they speak about it, when he's putting out a tweet on Valentine's Day, there's more relatability to a Karan Talwar saying that as opposed to a big Bollywood star, because it's more real, right? And I think the narrative of realism is becoming more and more important to brands, and as a result, they are willing to invest with influencers who are in a position to carry the narrative of being real and authentic, right? So brands are huge space, huge source of revenue for us. Live, of course, and live is an evolving market, right? India has just understood the concept of touring about half a decade ago. We really didn't have a touring market. It's traditionally been a shadi market, and it's been a corporate show wala market. It's not really been about people going there and paying top dollar or watch a live show of an Indian artist. Even today, I would say the most profitable shows are still comedy shows as opposed to music shows, unless of course, I think with the exception of Arijit, there aren't too many music artists who make money on live shows, right? So comedians are the easiest way of monetizing live gigs. So that's one great avenue. And I think the last avenue is going to be the new distribution, democratization movement called over-the-top operators. I think that's where a lot is going to change. You're going to have a lot of subscription services that are going to come out and they're going to buy content like this. I think what they do in the short form version is going to get longer. It's going to get more seasonal. It's going to get more episodic, and I think that's what's going to pick up over a period of time. And we already have takers. It's not like we don't have takers for that. So all of a sudden, without doing an ad, without going and dancing in a shadi, there is a new economy of monetization that's come up for influencers who have something authentic to say. and that's what it is. So right now it's a mix of content via OTT, brands and live.
Okay, he just talked about internet and the players coming and acquiring, platforms coming and acquiring your content. That means your content will now be, or is likely to be next to a Russell Peter on Netflix or someone on Amazon. Is there a new challenge for you?
I don't look at it as a challenge, I look at it as an opportunity. Because what YouTube has given us is, so I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Because on a platform like YouTube and Instagram and all these platforms, we directly talk to our audience, right? I know exactly what my numbers are. I know where my content is going wrong, where it's going right. On these platforms, which I've done some work with them, they never give you any of the info. I have no idea how I'm doing. Is it doing well? Is it doing poorly? Yeah, अच्छा कर रहा है. हो गया. I have no idea. I would love to know if anyone's here how some of the content did. So that's, it's an opportunity because certainly the onus is that I'm not worried about, sort of the production levels. Like in the previous talk, they spoke about production levels. I don't agree with that entirely, that premium content is just that's made to look better. I don't agree with that at all. It's got to be written in a certain way and presented in a certain way, and that's not just production. But right now we are kind of the people who I'll make my memes on the phone. She'll shoot her videos on her phone. So we are trying to say, okay, let's upgrade that to a set with actors and scripts, and let's try to bring a bigger audience in. That's an opportunity, and that's what I think the OTT platforms bring to us.
Okay, do you see that as a challenge, you and your content is put it with other who have been there for a very long time?
It's not so much of a challenge as it is like, it's just flagging that is up there with things of quality and with things of repute. So, and I truly believe that everything has an audience, and YouTube is the biggest example, because there are channels that I would not watch ever in my life, but they have millions and billions of subscribers, and then there are people who would watch us, and then a lot of people are like, why do you watch these guys, like, yuck. So there is honestly an audience, whether it's OTT, whether it's your YouTube or whatever, there is an audience for everything. Like, so I'm not too, that's not something that bothers me. But yeah, it's a good place to be, right? If the competition is good and there are good people in the market, then it automatically makes you better.
Okay, so I change my question for you. So, do you need to approach your content differently when you go to those platforms, those premium platforms, where people are actually subscribing to it?
Yeah. Differently in the sense, simply because every format is different. So if I do what I do on the phone, if I do it on stage, I will have to perform it differently. I will have to structure it for that audience. Like the performance styles will differ. Like when you perform for camera, it's different from when you perform for your phone, from when you perform for something else. Also, you have to keep in mind attention span. So if this person is watching you for 30 minutes, then it has to be sare jokes you can't pack into 30 minutes, right? But here, when I make 1 minute content, I know exactly where to put what and where to stop, and where the story begins, where it ends. So different formats have their own style of storytelling.
Okay, you mentioned about two avenues for revenue. One was the brand and other was the live shows. Today Bollywood country is a brand. Why don't you think merchandising can be a big revenue or big source of revenue for brands that they are building with time?
Oh, I think it will be. I don't think it's not going to be a form of revenue. But I think if you look at where consumer brand stands in terms of celebrity merchandising or influencer merchandising, I think you're just seeing success, right? Or it's a new market. Being Human has just happened. HRX has just happened. 1.8 has just happened. Deepika's All About You has just happened. So it's only now in the last, say, 5 to 7 years where you're looking at icons creating consumer brands which are being consumed. And I think it's all evolution, right? It took Bollywood so long to get to that phase. It's a matter of time. I mean, it's an honest conversation tomorrow. If Karan didn't decide to make underpants by Bollywood, can't even put memes on that. It's a conversation. And will there be takers? 100%. For certain there will be takers if you find the right partner. So I don't think it's not an opportunity. I think it needs to reach a certain critical mass. And beyond that, you need to have the right distribution and marketing partners, and of course it's an opportunity. I don't think it's something way out of the horizon. It's something that will happen in the next couple of years.
Okay. Does this inspire you to have someday have your t-shirt selling or have your boot selling or whatever? Like we have seen international stars selling this. So say for example Cristiano Ronaldo, the CR7 is a big brand today. So somewhere do you see this inspiration?
I mean, yes and no, because I mean that's not what I do. I don't do stuff just so I can sell shirts or sell whatever. That's not my thing. But like if I have let's say a stand-up line that becomes meme worthy, and that becomes a shirt, that's fine because then it's like a joke that I created, and it's a thought and where that. For me, it's just jokes. For me, it's like how can I put a joke in a sketch? How can I put a joke in my video or my stand-up set? That's it. That's the only reason why I do this is because I want for my own personal, selfish creative needs.
And also, I'd just like to highlight specifically with the two of them. I think it's a great exercise that you did at the start of the session. How many know Karan? How many know Bollywood Kandu? Right? And I think that's statistically proven. Karan Thalwar has 1 million followers on Twitter and Bollywood Kandu has like 3.5 million or whatever. It's 3x the factor, right? Even with Malika, I think all the characters that she's created, be it Tinder Auntie, Makeup Didi, all of that. I think the fact that they're alter egos, so it's again an evolution, right? 4 years ago it was just stand-up comic, right? Name of the comic goes and performs and that's about it. Today, you have alter egos who are doing as well or better than the person behind the star, right? And I think that's also a huge sign of the development of where the medium is taking, right? That an alter ego which has no face, like Bollywood Kandu is just it's a sketch, yeah, and it's a wild sketch, right? Karan is not as popular as an alter ego. Similarly for Malika, I think that's all. It just shows you how fast this is developing. It's not growing small. It's really going in a very, very large way. The other guy who was supposed to be on this panel, Bhuvam Bam, I'm not sure if any of you have seen BBK Vines. Right now he's circling in the Mumbai airspace because his flight has been delayed by 3 hours. He's made a career of, again, just creating sketches and nothing else. He has about 7 or 8 characters which are bigger than the celebrity called Bhuvam Bam. So I think that's also a huge evolution in their... Actually, what prompted you to do it? Why Bollywood Kandu? Why Tinder Auntie?
I know my biggest inspiration, and anybody who asks me, who do you think is your comedy god, I always say Sacha Baron Cohen. I love the way he approaches his work, whether it's Borat or Ali G, just this idea of, because people have a tendency, they find things more palatable if you say it in character. If I say the same thing as me, they might not like it, but if I say it as Shagun or as Makeup Didi or something, they'll consume it. And I was very young when I saw Ali G do his thing, and I was like, this is brilliant. He's like taking the mickey out of himself while doing it to the other person also, and this makes for great entertainment. And so I love this idea of existing in a real world but existing as a character.
I think what she said, I can just piggyback on that. I think the biggest thing missing, why we exist, and like the biggest disconnect between, let's say, all the big platforms and these guys wearing suits and us, is that they are always talking about content. And we are always talking about characters. And one thing that people don't get, I don't think you guys get it, is that people love characters. People are in love with her characters. People are in love with BB's characters. The content is secondary. Once your character is sold to you, and this America has proof of this, they always talk about the character, name of the person, and they don't talk about the series. Once you fall in love with a Joey, then Friends it can have 50 seasons and you'll keep watching it. So characters are super important. Also characters, because we are 360-degree people. We laugh, we cry, we have good days and bad days, but our characters don't. Her characters don't. Her character is a depressive character. She will always be depressive. She was not going to have a happy day. That's how it is. Bollywood Kandu is always going to make fun. Like even if I like a movie, I'm going to find something to say about it and make a joke about it, whatever it be, right? But then I have my other Twitter account where I can compliment the movie and say, hey, it was shot well or whatever.
Okay. One more thing I'd like to bring here, the language is also changing, right? Because last year when we had the discussion, we had an AIB, whenever they made a video it trended. But today we have a discussion when Bhuvan Bam had double the number of subscribers as AIB, and his language is what is trending, So how are you as a content creator, coping up with this change? Because today a consumer is not only the tier 1 cities who are speaking Hindi with English or English, today they like content in their tonality, and the proof of it is Bhuvan Bam's success. So how are you changing as internet penetrates deeper?
I've been lucky, I'm very comfortably bilingual, so I don't think this question really applies to me, because ever since I started, my first video I displayed both Hindi and English. So that way I think I'm very lucky, like I'm flexible that way. However, if you mean reaching like a larger audience, I think for any creator, if you set that as your goal, it's a bit of a trap. Because I never approach my work as इसको इतने लोग देखेंगे या इसको इतने लोग पसंद करेंगे. It's more like I like acting, I like performing, I have been trained in that and I'm going to do it wherever I get a chance to do it and I will do it to the best of my abilities. And that's the philosophy I had and the internet just happened by chance. So personally, I don't get into that let me do this so I will reach more people. That's the trap like a lot of television shows fall into and I don't agree with that. So yeah, so I think what works for a Bhuvan also is, what I think the common thing between me, Karan and Bhuvan is that we also don't really care about impressing people that much. If you see that in our work, it's not so much ki, acha, this is politically correct or this will make people like me. I think that is very important to sort of know. Like, it's almost like it's the case in any game, right? You don't chase them, you chase.
Before you answer this, I'd like to mention one thing. By language, I do not mean the language of Hindi, English, Bangla or... So for example, Narcos is a language and Nagin is a language. The more you get Masi, you move towards Nagin. The more you get the cream, you move towards, Narco. So that way, how do you change your language?
So stand-up comedy is an easy way to answer this, using stand-up as a... Sometimes people don't laugh at a joke. And you go back home and you say, okay, what did I do wrong? So there's two things. The idea that joke funny nahi tha, that doesn't exist. That's actually very bad feedback for a joke. I probably didn't sell the joke enough. Or my setup. The setup was not incorrect. In other words, the context needed for that joke to be funny was incorrect. So I need to change the words. So that's exactly what I do. I go back, I listen to the joke and I change the words around. And sometimes just that makes the joke funny. So what I do is to relate to a larger audience, which again, like her, I don't ever think about that. But I think is how can I simplify it to make it the simplest joke, because it is in English. And English is a second language for most of us. So how do I make it simple so you don't have to think too much about what is he trying to say? As opposed to you focus on, okay, I get what he's saying and this is why it's funny or not funny. So it's about just forming those sentences, whether it's a meme or a setup joke or what she's saying something in her Instagram videos. How can I make it simple? And it's no different from writing a speech or writing an essay. You want people to get it, what you're saying. If you use Thalurian language, it's not going to happen, right? No one's going to get it. You got to keep it simple.
Is the language changing with the deep penetration of internet and the price slash and all that we are seeing?
Yes, language is going to play a very, very key role, because eventually one of the things we've realized in our line of work is we are a country with the cultural diversity of a continent. It becomes what works, and we can tell you because we work extensively in the south of India, what works in AP doesn't work in UP, what works in Tamil Nadu doesn't work in AP. Forget, even within the south, those 5 states, 5 because it's but those 5 states are equally diversified in the way they work. So yes, there is today an essay artist who's a really big stand-up comic in the language of Tamil, right? Or there is a Danish Seth who's got this massive following in Karnataka, right? And if you go to these cities and if you follow these guys are as big or not in terms of their popularity as anyone else sitting in Bombay or Delhi. So the fact is there will be regionalization. I mean, I was surprised. We met a startup recently, a social media startup that's got 10 million active users only on vernacular languages, right? That's they just raising serious amounts of money right now. But the fact is, I think regionalization is going to be key. With content now being consumed across the entire length and breadth of the country, everybody will want content in the way that they can understand it and consume it. So it is language, and by this time I'm going back to referring to actually in terms of a linguistic asset. Language is going to be a key criteria also in terms of penetration, because AP and TN could be countries by themselves, right? If you look at their GDP and the kind of size that those states are, that's how important it is for a regional.
Just to add that, I think it's a challenge and an opportunity, language in India. Like, I think as a creator, my biggest concern, especially when I'm writing something big, is we have a lack of a sort of central pop culture. I think that's what the joke that works in Chennai has no context in Bombay, as opposed to like America, where it's kind of universal. So the challenge is like, okay, we have so many languages, what do we do? Well, why can't we create something that's a silent concept? Look at something like Mr. Bean. It's a brilliant concept. Everybody can watch it. people still watch Tom and Jerry today. It's still funnier than 99% of the comedy that we put out in this country. And what is it? It's a cat and a mouse banging each other with mallets. But because they had a sort of, they didn't play with language, they played with actions. We can use as a challenge and create action-based content. You know, and we do have that. We have a lot of prank shows on YouTube. We have tons and tons of action-based content. It's flying off them. People are loving it.
Okay. One more thing I'd like to come to you for is, you said brand integration is, or money from brand is still a big part of the revenue that is coming in. How is brand integration changing? You know, previously we saw, whenever we spoke to marketers, they said, I would like someone to come with a story at a very early stage, where then we discuss how I can place my brand in. Now, when I speak to marketers, it's like, okay, man, Bhuvan Bam is doing so many views, I will go and do something with Bhuvan Bam. Is it how it is changing?
Oh, good question, and I'll also ask them a question with regards to this. I think it's changing in two ways. They are becoming media assets, right? If he's got a reach of 4 or 5 million people, she reaches out to 3-4 million people, Bhuvan reaches out to 10-15 million people. The fact is, they are media assets, right? They're not just talent who you can pay to get a commercial done or something like that. Today, the fact is, you can shave off a little bit of your media budgets, and with analytics in place, you can easily figure out how much they've reached out to in terms of their content. I think the trick is, and these guys can sort of expand on this, is how do you brief them, right? It's not an in-film integration, right? The more and more the briefs that they get, and the way we see it, we have to always fight towards driving towards authenticity of content and not make it look like a logo placement. Because I can guarantee you, and I used to follow Bollywood Gandu before Bollywood Gandu was a Quant client. If I saw him doing something preachy, which was not natural to him, I would not follow him, right? Because this is also a very sensitive audience that will kill you if they stop resonating with you. So I think for brands, the more they stitch into the narrative as they would do when they want to. When do you call a in-film integration great? When the product fits naturally with the brand, right? We're just doing something with Padmavati and Tanishq, it makes sense. You can't make a film like Padmavati without jewelry, right? So it fits in naturally. Can you find such content that will come out when a brand can very easily fit into what they're trying to say? Because the moment it's forced, the moment you say, yeah, iske 4 million followers, it's like tweet karao, then you go to a Bollywood celebrity. You don't go to a comic, or you don't go to a content creator who's built his brand on authenticity, right? And that's what's changing in the nature of these brands, and it's changing. Today, a lot of brands are open to saying, okay, what's he doing? Can we have a presentation, can we have a call with Malika just to understand what her future is in terms of content output, and how can we integrate it? But that's happening now. Initially, it was just classic. Meme bana hai, mera t-shirt pehn ke meme bana. You know, and then it doesn't work in that sense. Do you guys agree, disagree? Because
I think that's one of the disappointing things about we've not. Maybe it's an Indian thing, I don't know, but it's been the experience with working in brands has been pretty disappointing because sometimes I feel like they literally are using us as tools to reach a wider audience. And what he said is spot on. That I have an audience to cater to. The person on the brand side has a cause to cater to. And that conflict is a constant source of grief for both ends. I generally feel like this is how it should work. It's very simple. If Malika is getting 1 million views on all her videos, if the brand gives her money, that video should get 5 million views. Her voice should be amplified with that money that the brand is giving. But what we're seeing is the exact opposite, constantly. Because if we'll have a meeting and be like, Acha, every 30 seconds a brand name has to show. You're going to give me constraints like that and then expect those kind of results. It's going to be very tough. So that's my thing. It should be a video where, you know, at the end of the year when the CEO has this retreat for his employees, they should play this video. You know, it should be the top most viewed video on her channel. I think that's the game where we're really missing out on the brand creator connect.
But we love brands. We love brands.
I haven't taken anyone's name yet.
Business of Laughter is here to say thank you very much, all three of you. It's not always you don't face Bhuvan Bam, but we need this Bhuvan Bam. Thanks a lot.
What do you think is the most important element of a joke?
So the most important element of a joke is irreverence. You can't, you have to be able to just crack it all the way. You can't be like, hi, ye isko offend karega, ye isko nahi karega. You have to crack the joke, yeah, as it is. You have to like keep it as pure as it is.
What's your least
Least favorite. I like his first question.
Okay, tell me what's your least favorite joke in a recent Hindi film that you watched?
I didn't watch the film. I watched the trailer, and he got the best actor or comedic award too, which is amazing. Was that Judwa mein? Varun Dhawan asks Jacqueline, like, what is the capital of Afghanistan? And she's like, Kabul. Like, kya? Kabul. Kya? Kabul. Oh, shaadi ho gayi.
Right, so that's your least.
So when I saw that, I was like, but they gave him the award for best comedic actor. So well done, Bollywood.
What's your opinion about Bollywood media awards that they give out?
Very important. More important than the Nobel Prize. In fact, Nobel Prize will be scrapped and replaced with Filmfare Awards.
Is there any particular award that you seek to win in the years to come?
No, I don't want to win any Bollywood award. In fact, I have been invited for now they're doing stand-up comedy awards, and luckily stand-up comedians are like, we are not attending, so they keep cancelling them. I think awards are pointless. We should go have fun, watch the movies. What's the point? Because anyway, Shah Rukh खरीदने वाला है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
So it's always reward and not award.
Always reward, no award.